Alex Answer is sitting here on a Sunday. It is February 24th, 2019. I want to bring this to your attention, and this is on the heels of some of the commentary that you've already received from me regarding YouTube, how I see the real YouTube, how it tries to present itself to be to the public, and a lot of other elements of information, feelings that I have within about a eventual YouTube, Google doomsday. By the way, just recently I got the email that yes, it's official. They are deleting the Google Plus pages. And so it would be at least 5 years ago that I initially warned that I felt that there would be a deliberate takedown of this particular medium. And so I want to touch upon this latest bit of controversy regarding the YouTube comment section and how comments that are left, see, it's no longer about the content of the video alone. It's about the content of the comment section, the words used in the comment section. It's kind of an interesting thing to discuss, because what we're really dealing with is also a discussion about how the comment section is not even necessarily reflected the best of our audience or the best of our society. We can even make a case that YouTube has played a lobotomization role. It's like, yes, there's this phrase, kill your TV, but then there was a time in which this awareness about digital addiction really dropped off. Unfortunately, for people like me, we have to create content constantly, even to make, in some cases, $100 per month. And what I've been waking up to is that my activism, the very things that I've been suspicious of, saying certain words, talking about the devastation of certain countries, reporting on certain events over years, having on certain kinds of guests. Think about the China credit rating for the individual. How archonic is that? But it's almost as if there's a very similar rating or type of technology that YouTube uses on a channel, as if it's a person, to give it a rating. And so much of it works against people like me and in favor of extremists. In reality, it doesn't mean that's always going to be that way. They can quickly turn the tables. But I haven't seen them do that. I see YouTube recommending things like the Next News Network as if it's CNN, right under CNN. So literally within the algorithm of this type of niche content, it will literally try to redirect to somebody like that or AMTV, people that have really bad reputations for creating fake news and creating fear. It's like you need to see the real YouTube as you read articles about YouTube and begin to ask the questions as to what it's doing. And so there is some speculation about the comment sections going away. And there is a lot of pressure, just so you know, for the content creator to do away with the comment section, because their video and their channel could be demonetized as a result of some of the things that are being said. And one of the things that we're dealing with right now is articles where they're saying that comments were made about children in key videos, and it's being made out to be some sort of a epidemic that's everywhere. Kind of like when they said that there were all these ISIS terrorist accounts on Twitter, and then those of us with common sense asked ourselves, well, why would there be so many ISIS Twitter accounts to begin with? The whole thing's very, very suspicious. Well, as it is with this, now I do want to let you know that at outsidethebox.vhx.tv, and I want to strongly encourage you as we approach the 2-year anniversary, right? There's been no new subscribers, right? There's been no real response to my recent videos, and I'm okay with it. Hey, if we need to actually part ways as we go through this 2019 and we start to see these major world events, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the cherry on the sundae. After 15 years of reaching out to you and trying to help you understand these things. The very platform that I come to you on is threatening some of us in profound ways that some of you will never understand in a million years as a content consumer. You need to understand what's happening on the other side. You need to understand the real algorithm. Don't you find it interesting that YouTube would send me only people from the far right in some cases? And yet those people would call themselves victims, saying that YouTube is actually batting for the other side. Now, it'd say over and over and over, then where are people of color in the comment section joining Patreon? Where are even people of my father's bloodline at all in this comment section? Why would it all be one demographic? Unless minorities like me are meant to be put into a box to where we don't really reach the world on YouTube. We only think we do. We only think we do. And while the algorithm renders us and our words irrelevant, the propaganda in the so-called real media from the left and the right, in the minds of those potential viewers and audience members and supporters, they will be told that our message is irrelevant. They'll be told that we are a threat. Whether we're trying to help women evolve, we'll be called a misogynist. We're trying to help our fellow Americans evolve, we'll be called anti-American. We try to help people evolve beyond the lower state where we were. We'll be called anti-them, anti-this, enter the blank here. How does YouTube represent the little guy? When if you merely say the name of that country, bomb back to the Stone Age, who owns this medium? For years I've warned you about China. As yes, we literally now are seeing red. We're seeing the writing on the wall, the graffiti on the wall, the blood on the wall. We are at the cusp. We are at the cusp. Now, on a rational level, this may only hurt me so much because I'm already at the bottom. You could start a brand new YouTube channel, say the right things, have the right looks, and surpass me very, very quickly. And some of you are just choosing to not become corrupted. That's why you're still struggling. Even if you have the perceived right genetics, maybe you're not getting in line with demonizing all these people overseas. Maybe the system doesn't want to carry you to the top. So you have 4,000 views, 10,000 views. YouTube has carried those members of our society to the top by speaking ill of others. So we have to come to terms with this. The core of being outside the box of the welfare state is people helping each other. That translates to you joining Patreon. That translates to you directly supporting what it is that I do on alternative platforms, whether it be outsidethebox.vhx.tv or some other tube site. Or if I say something like join the newsletter down below, that you do so that you're updated. Right now we have 91 people on the newsletter. It could be so much better than that. You know how where we were at a year ago? 80 people were on my newsletter last year. Now 91. It's like everybody is almost lobotomized now by this medium. It's almost as if the comment section destroyed people. That's not the way you connect on a deeper level with a human being. And like I said, there needs to be writing done. There has to be focus put into what it is that we say, and it living beyond this medium, creating backups, thinking outside the YouTube box, realizing what we're dealing with. And they made it easy for a long, long time for YouTube to become people's reality, for YouTube to play a role in expanding their business or even being a business to where people were hired in recent years. Maybe to work on somebody's website or help out with somebody's channel. And then we saw also the rise in jealousy and people saying, no, people shouldn't be able to create their own content. and then be able to make a living on it. And then the tide changed and they got in the game too. They went from being jealous to playing their own game. And then some people got real sinister with it and they saw the machine rewarding them in ways far greater than ways the machine rewarded others that they were previously jealous of, angry with, resentful of, because of their piddly success of a few hundred a month. Then, in recent years, after 2015, 2016, people really started to learn how to work it. Work it, baby, work it. In the illusions of separation, calling themselves victims while seeing 10,000 views, 50,000 views, 100,000 views, as the algorithm carried them to the top, as if it was their destiny, as if they really were that good, as if they really were that smart. That's right. That's right. And so now, with the sleeping left and right, we have the machine doing exactly what it's going to do, with content creators from the left to the right to the independent, in some cases losing their channel, while going, I didn't know this was coming, yet Alex Ansary talked tirelessly about the end game. Alex Ansary talked tirelessly about the end game, and he was scoffed at. He would be lucky to get 100 views. He would be lucky to get 70 views on some videos, even recently. You call this success? We call this community? We are literally living in the machine. And I am organic consciousness talking to you, the hive mind within the machine, asking you to wake up. Asking you to, in your silence, about the things that matter. Asking you to care about where your soul goes from here. Because we really have been given enough rope to hang ourselves. And the thing is, right? By the way, I got word that, down in New Mexico, they have a call center for people in crisis. There's going to be major cutbacks economically in this nation. And see, one of the ways I live my life is trying to reach out to people in crisis with the real mental health crises and behavioral problems. I speak to you on YouTube about these things. And isn't everything about a mental health crisis that we discuss on this channel? These people going along with the world government, these people going along with never-ending wars, these people thinking that, change we can believe in and make America great again. This is one big mental health crisis that isn't officially diagnosed, that doesn't officially have a solution like a drug, but it has a solution that you need to wake up. And YouTube has been instrumental in that process. But it's also been instrumental in people becoming lazy, not signing up to the newsletters, not supporting the YouTuber, not realizing you need to think outside the box. And we need to almost like return to traditional means of communication in some ways in order to save ourselves. I've seen this medium reward some of us monetarily, and while I've also seen it possess people. I mean, I've been talking about this just recently, and how the medium itself seems to have an ability for supernatural forces to possess some people on YouTube to come after some of us for being willing to show our face in a world that hates us. YouTube has been the only place in recent years where there's been anything positive said about me, a recognition that I'm human. And what you don't understand is that in this real world, in this hell of Southwest Colorado, I'm not a human to these people. I'm not a friend to these people. I'm an invading outsider with brown skin. That's who I am in Southwest Colorado. That's who anyone is that would dare be an outsider in all the different ways you can be an outsider, politically, spiritually, ethnically, in every single potential way you can be different. That's who I am. And I came marching in, driving in, to conservative rural Colorado at the height of the fake Sharia law invasion meme, at the height of the caravan supposed crisis. These people are in fear of ethnic invasion. And I fit the profile. It's taken balls to be me and live here. Balls others don't have. Balls of steel that others don't have. Even those that aren't even ethnic targets wouldn't even live here or in this neighborhood. And I don't want you to forget that I had the guts and I had the courage to say the things that needed to be said while danger was always present. And there would be only so many of you that would be a part of the core support base. And I would thank you and be so grateful that some of you would maintain your support over the years. But we need to understand that the tide is changing, the mediums are changing, the internet is changing, our world is changing. And this is a time to start applying the things that we have learned. We need to start applying the spiritual knowledge that we've learned in this time that we've had the internet before we deal with something like a major solar flare or an EMP or a World War III or an economic collapse. And it's like when we go through that, we're no longer going to be thinking about our YouTube AdSense and our YouTube algorithm and our haters and our trolls and slander and all these horrible events taking place in the world and in the news and all these things happening with the president and all these things happening with the left and all the riots and doxing happening in Portland and the blood that runs in the street. There would be a major psychological shift when the lights really go out